goods to the groom family at the time of marriage. It's often demanded by groom side. Causes greed, social pressure, viewing daughter as a burden, practical mindset, and desire for social status. Consequence: financial burden on bride family, discrimination against girl, female foeticide and infanticide, harassment, violence, dowry debt, and marital discord and divorce. What is the government doing? So, Dowry Prohibition Act 1961 make giving and taking dowry a punishable offence. Section 498A of Indian Penal Code deals with cruelty by husband on or his relative. Rajasthan level, Rajasthan state implementing awareness campaign about protection officer under Act and promotes scheme empowering girls like Mukhyamantri Raj Yojana. So, RS officer can do ensure strict implementation of Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, promote awareness campaign, coordinate with police and NGO, empower women through education and economic independence program, ensure prompt action on complaint. Then comes the what is the divorce? Is the legal ending of a marriage, dissolving the marital bond between the two people. Cause lack of compatibility, communication gap, domestic violence, adultery, dowry, harassment, financial issue, changing social value, increasing independence of women. Consequence: emotional trauma for the couple and children, financial instability, social stigma, custody battles, issue related to children's upbringing. Indian government different personal law govern divorce at different religious community. Hindu Marriage Act 1955, Special Marriage Act 1954, and Muslim Laws and Family Court Act 1984 aims to speedy settlement. Laws provide for maintenance and anomaly. So, family court operate in Rajasthan. Legal aid service are available for those who cannot afford lawyer. Women Support Center offer counseling. So, as IS officer, promote family counseling center, ensure access to legal aid, implementing support scheme for divorced women and children, raise awareness about legal right and procedure, and monitor the functioning of family court. Child marriage. A marriage where either bride or groom or both are below legally defined minimum age of 18 years for women and 21 for men. Causes poverty, lack of education, social custom and tradition, perceived security for girl, girl and gender inequality, poor implementation of laws. Consequence: health risks for young girls, early pregnancy complication, MMR, and neonatal mortality rate, denial of education and opportunity, domestic violence, perpetuation of poverty and gender, vicious circle of poverty, illiteracy, and higher infant and maternal mortality rate. So, the government have the provision of Child Marriage Act 2006 declared child marriage voidable and prescribe punishment for those performing, permitting, and promoting it. A scheme like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao focus on girl child education and welfare. Rajasthan has historically had high rates, so the state government run a specific campaign, especially around the festival like Akshat Tritiya, Akhat Tej. District administration are vigilant and child marriage profession officer are appointed. Strict monitoring and reporting system are placed. As SDM, directly responsible for preventing child marriage in their area, and launch awareness drive coordinated with police, Anganwadi workers, teachers, community leaders, ensure mandatory registration of marriage. Take strict action against the violator under the act, promote girl education. Corruption, dishonest and fraudulent conduct by those in power, typically involving bribery. It is misuse of public office in private gain, and also uh, uh, forbidden to act legal act. is also known as corruption. So causes greed, low salary, lack of transparency, complex procedure, weak informants of law, political and bureaucratic nexus, and social acceptance, lack of ethical values. Consequence: waste of public money, poor quality of public service and infrastructure, hamper economic development, increase inequality, erode public trust in government, promote inefficiency. India level, Preventing of Corruption Act 1988, amended in 2018, Central Vigilance Commission, Lokpal and Lokayukt Act 2013, Right to Information Act 2005, promote transparency, digitization of service by e-governance. And Rajasthan Lokayukt and Anti-Corruption Bureau and Rajasthan Sampark Portal for grievance redressal, emphasis on e-governance and transparency in process, and also Jan Sunwai Adhikar Adhiniyam and the Citizen Charter Act and uh, many more. So, as a RS officer, you can maintain personal integrity, promote transparency and accountability in their department, ensure timely deliveries of services, implement e-governance initiative, encouraging subordinate to be honest, take prompt action, and corruption complaint. Simply rule and procedure and protect whistleblower. And communalism, strong allegiance to one's own religion community, often leading to prejudice, discrimination, and antagonism and violence against other religions, involve prioritizing religion identity over the national identity. Causes: political manipulation, vote buying politics, economic competition, historic conflict, real and perceived, religious intolerance and extremism, and spread of rumor and hate speech, especially via social media. Social and economic backwardness was used for mobilization. Consequences of riot and violence, loss of light among properties, social division and mistrust lead to national unity and integration, hamper economic progress, and create fear, insecurity. What is government doing? So, India level secularism enshrine in constitutional law against hate speech and inciting violence. IPC section 153A and 295A. Special force like Rapid Action Force (RAF) to deal with trade, promoting communal harmony through various programs. State police and administration maintain vigilance, especially during festival. Peace communities involving members of different communities are often formed at district level and local level, monitoring social media for inflammatory content. As ADM or field officer maintain close contact with leaders of all communities, promote interfaith dialogue and activities, ensure impartial administration and justice delivery, monitoring potential trouble spot and take preventing action, counter rumors effectively, and ensure prompt and firm action during the communal tension. So, then the poverty, a state where a person lacks the financial resource or essential for minimum standard of life. These include the not having the enough food, shelter, clothing, and healthcare and education. Causes: unemployment and underemployment, lack of access to quality education and healthcare, social discrimination, population growth and asset inequality, and impact of climate change on agriculture and economic shock and historical factor. Consequence: malnutrition, poor health, low productivity, homelessness, crime, social unrest, and indebtedness, lack of opportunity perpetuate across the generation. So, doing numerous scheme like Manrega, guarantee wage employment, national food security act, subsidized food grade, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Ayushman Bharat, and national rural livelihood mission for self-help groups, national level state implement scheme effectively, and has own initiative like subsidized food in the Annapurna Rasoi Yojana, skill development program, and social security. And so, as an officer, ensure effective implementation and targeting of poverty elimination scheme, monitor scheme delivery to prevent leakages, promote skill development and employment generation program, facilitate access for credit towards self-employment, improve delivery of basic services like health and education, in their area, identify vulnerable families and ensure receive benefit. Then comes the unemployment. A situation where people who able to work and willing to work privileged wage cannot get a fine job include various type of frictional, structural, cyclical, and seasonal and disquiet employment. So, cause slow economic growth, population increase, gap between skill required and skill possessed, skill gap, and dominance of agriculture with seasonal work, inadequate industrialization, slow growth of manufacturing sector, impact of technology, automation, lack of vocational training. Then comes the consequence of poverty, frustration, and mental health issue among youth, wastage of human resource, increased crime rate, social unrest, brain drain, skilled people leaving the country. Indian government Skill India Mission, Make in India, Startup India, Manrega, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and National Career Service Portal. Rajasthan Government, Rajasthan Skill and Livelihood Development Corporation, RSLDC, Mukhyamantri Yuva Sambal Yojana, Unemployment Allowance, and organizing job fair and promoting self-employment. As a officer, promote skill development center aligning with local industry need, facilitate job fair and connect job seeker with employer, ensure effective implementation of employment generation scheme like MNREGA, and promote entrepreneurship through easy access to loan and information, coordinate with industry to understand skill requirement, improve the quality of education and vocational training. Then comes drug education, compulsive use of drugs despite harmful consequences. It is the dependence on illegal drugs or medication leading to physical and psychological harm. So causes peer pressure, stress and depression, curiosity, lack of parental guidance, easy availability of drugs, socio-economic factor, poverty, unemployment, psychological problems. Consequence: severe health problem, mental and physical breakdown of family relationship, and financial ruin, increased crime rates to fund addiction, and loss of productivity, spread diseases like HIV through shared needle. Then comes what is the government doing? So India government Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act, NDPS Act 1985 provide strict punishment for drug trafficking and possession of the drug. Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, Drug Free India campaign focus on awareness, treatment and rehabilitation, setting up de-addiction center. Assistant government, state police and excise department conduct raid to cut drug supply, awareness program in school and college, running de-addiction center and counseling service. What an IRS officer can do: coordinate with police and health department for informants and rehabilitation, promote awareness campaign, especially among youth, support NGO working in de-addiction, monitor the function of de-addiction center, work toward reducing the stigma associated with seeking help, and facilitate skill development with recovering addict to help reintegration. So vulnerable section. So group within society who are at higher risks of poverty, discrimination, exploitation, and social exclusion due to various factors. Key group mentioned are Dalit, elderly, and disabled. So the Dalit, caste-based discrimination, social exclusion, untouchably in stable form, and limited access to resources, land, quality education, and job, atrocities and violence, lack of political representation despite of reservation. Elderly citizen health problem, financial insecurity, lack of pension and saving, loneliness and neglect, abuse, physical, emotional, and financial by family member, lack of access to age appropriate healthcare and facilities. Disabled, person with disability or Divyangjan, lack the access physical barrier in building and transport. So limit education and employment opportunity, social stigma and discrimination, and inadequate healthcare and rehabilitation facilities dependence on the other. So what is the government do? So Dalit Constitution safeguard 15, 16, 17, Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe, Prevention of Atrocity Act 1989, reservation policy in education and job, National Commission for Scheduled Caste, scheme for economic and educational development. Elderly, maintain the welfare of parent and senior citizen Act 2007, national policy on other person, older person. So welfare, maintenance and welfare of parents and senior citizen Act 2007, national policy on older person, Indira Gandhi national old age pension scheme and health insurance scheme. Disabled right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 recognize 21 type of disabilities, provide for reservation, accessibility standard, accessible India program, Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, unique disability ID UDID card, and scheme for aids and appliance ADIP. So Rajasthan, state implement the central scheme, specific state pension for elderly, widow, and disabled, and scheme for SC development, scholarship, hostel, and facilities. Effort to make government building accessible. Special court for atrocity cases. Mukhyamantri Vishesh Yuvajan Samman Pension Yojana. And as an officer, you can ensure strict implementation of protection of laws, POA Act, RPWD Act, and Senior Citizen Act, and monitor implementation of reservation policy, ensure accessibility standard and made in public infrastructure, promote awareness among right and scheme for this group, ensure timely disbursal of pension and benefits, coordinate with NGO working for their welfare, address working NGO for welfare and address grievance promptly and sensitively, promote social inclusion. So this is for today. Uh, so I think this child marriage is remaining. No, child wedding is also there. Okay. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Rajasthan.